Hey everyone, Hank with Stateroom Travels here, coming to you from the beautiful Celebrity Beyond. We were fortunate enough last year to sail aboard her sister ship, Celebrity Ascent, on a quick preview cruise. It was a 3-nighter, so 5 nights here. It's going to be really, really nice. I had asked Mama Otero, what do you think, for your next Celebrity cruise? We knew right away we wanted to board another Edge class ship, and without missing a beat, she said, we've got to go on Captain Kate's ship. So here we are. I'm sure we'll meet the captain at some point. She's always, walking around and interacting with guests. So looking forward to that. I'm sure it's going to be fun. But this particular cruise also stops at Royal Caribbean's private island. Perfect day at CocoCay. Super excited about that. And Cozumel, Mexico. So thank you for joining me here on my channel. We're going to explore all the foods, which I'm sure will be fantastic, and the entertainment, which is, completely unique to this particular ship. Let's get started. They said that muster is at Fine Cut Steakhouse, which is interesting, but we're here on 4. We've got to go up to 5. Knock the muster out and go grab some food.
And speaking of food, we had our Concierge Lunch at Tuscan restaurant. Started with a Caesar salad, moved on to a short rib, not as good as the one at Cyprus, and a salmon for my mom. Of course, dessert was delicious. Let's head upstairs, take a quick tour of our stateroom. Because we were concierge, we were on deck 12 this time. You've got your little couch, huge king-size bed. See the size of that bed? It's amazing. Here's our flat screen TV, and this particular stateroom did have a partial obstruction, so we had a little piece of the magic carpet there, kind of blocking our veranda view. When you come back this way, you've got your little desk or vanity area. This is where I start to edit these videos. Your charging station. There's a mini fridge directly underneath that. Got some dressers there. And then our closet, which did come with some fancy robes. Here is our safe. And some more drawers underneath that. And our bathroom, with one of the best showers of any cruise line. And our concierge stateroom did give us perks like, did you know these guys are the oldest apothecary in the US? Talk about pampered. Definitely feel like a celebrity on board these ships. Our stateroom attendant was just the absolute best. Our first dinner was at Cyprus, the Mediterranean restaurant, which we remember as our favorite from Celebrity Ascent. So here are some of the goodies we had. We did not forget our Greek though. There's the mezza board, had that last time as well. And the short rib, which was better than the one at Tuscan. I had the lamb shank though, since I had short rib for lunch. This tiramisu blew my mind. It had a liqueur in it that was amazing. Let's get a little more into the details now.
Just got done with dinner here at Cyprus, the Greek Mediterranean restaurant, and it was sensational. Exactly as I remember from Celebrity Ascent. I had the lamb shank this time. Phenomenal. And again, tried the short rib, which was also fantastic. But the real surprise was the tiramisu was incredible. I've never had, I think it's a brand new favorite dessert. I asked, can you guys bring me that to the next restaurant? But he said it's exclusive to Cyprus. So incredibly delicious, you guys. So no complaints, 5 stars for Cyprus. Incredible.
After dinner, we went to the first production show titled Arte, and I'm going to share some of the imagery with you, even though I can't use the music. They really do make the best use of that gigantic screen. Each performance is so different because that screen behind the artists changes. think this Salvador Dali section was my favorite. If you can picture this number to Lady Gaga's Bad Romance, but a tango version. Yeah, exactly. The trapeze artists are always some of my favorites. So talented. And it helps give the show, that kind of Cirque du Soleil vibe. Look at that screen. This was Purple Rain. How beautiful is that? See what I mean about the screen just setting the tone and the vibe? The next morning, we arrived at Royal Caribbean's private island. Perfect day at CocoCay, and it had been almost a year since I visited. So happy to be back. There's Hideaway Beach, brand new area on the island.
Good morning, everyone, from Perfect Day at CocoCay. And this is Celebrity Beyond's very first time visiting the island. So that's kind of cool. We made a history on this cruise and didn't even realize it. I'm going to head over to Hideaway, the news section for adults on CocoCay. Wasn't even open last year, but something brand new to explore. Come on, let's go. As you walk off the ship, you're gonna turn to your right and just head down this little sandy path that they have. You can take a little tram, of course, but, I walk everywhere. I did it originally, so on our first visit here, everything is so close by. Trams are fine, nothing wrong with them, but gotta get my exercise in. We are in. Let's explore Hideaway Beach. Let me give you a peek.
Let's hit that hyperlapse. There's so many chairs everywhere. Here's the first restaurant, like quick service restaurant that you come across. You've got burgers and fries and things. See all the little picnic tables? There's your refreshment station. And we're heading off to the main pool. It's over here on the right. Okay, seriously, how gorgeous is this pool? Wow. There's a swim-up bar. And you've got a little seating area directly behind. There you go. Tons of seating everywhere. Then you've got cabanas that you can rent as well. So here are your Hideaway cabanas. Comes with a day pass. Here's another shot from the other side of the pool. Check out that beach. See how many chairs there are all along the coastline? Thought I'd get a shot of the drinks so you can see what the cost is at time of filming. Yes, this is the only pizza restaurant on the island.
Slice of paradise. They've got pizzas over here. And there's one that's guava barbecue chicken. What? And then, standard pepperoni. Check out, this is what I'm having, and a couple of little beef empanadas. Of course, this is all included once you purchase your pass to enter Hideaway Beach.
Let's go visit the even fancier cabanas. This is the Hideout. It's a little pricier, but it comes with its own pool, as you can see right here. They spared no expense. Oh, the bathrooms are so clean. They remind me of Disney's private island. Honestly, it's a very impressive section of the island.
Well, first impressions of Hideaway Beach. This is insane, amazing, incredible. So I walked all the way down and visited the cabanas. and they've got their own little, infinity pool over there. It's just beautiful, and as you can see, the beach is gorgeous. It's unbelievable. They've done such a fantastic job with this island. And would I recommend the pass for the day here? Yes, absolutely. If you've already visited the other spots on the island, definitely nice to come to Hideaway Beach and just kind of chill out. I think it's beautiful, and I'm so excited this time to get to visit because didn't exist last time. It was closed. I mean, you could see it from the balloon when my sister and I went 400 feet up and away. You could see they were working on Hideaway Beach. So absolutely gorgeous, and so happy to be here, and definitely glad that I purchased the day pass.
Keep in mind, there are a ton of things to do on Perfect Day at CocoCay, including zip lining. Not brave enough to do that, but it sure does look like fun. You've also got that big pirate ship, splash zone for the kids, and Thrill Water Park. Incredible slides in there. We ended our day over at Captain Jack's, and I've been waiting to have the chicken wings for a year, but we were able to catch some fun entertainment. So Captain Jack and Captain Jill, there on the violin, entertained us for a while I waited for the wings to cook. There they are. Yum.
Well, just had the famous Captain Jack's barbecue wings, and I've got to say they were as incredibly delicious as I remember from last year. Oh my gosh, so worth the $9.99. I mean, they give you 10, so it's $1 a wing. Not bad at all. Highly recommended if you come on Royal Caribbean or Celebrity Cruises, stop by Captain Jack's and have the wings. You will not regret it. Trust me.
Before long, we had to make our way back to the ship. The next morning, we grabbed a quick breakfast because we were invited to attend a Captain's Club presentation at Eden. And that was our first chance to see the captain.
Good morning! How is everyone? Hello in the back there! Hello! Good morning, everyone. Well, welcome to our Captain's Club celebration. How many people have been on Celebrity Beyond before? Raise your hands. Very good. How many people have been on Celebrity Edge class ships? Wow! I would say the majority of the room. Fantastic. Well, the difference between Celebrity Edge Apex and Celebrity Beyond Ascent is Celebrity Beyond and Ascent are 20.5 meters longer, size matters. So we were stretched in 2 different sections on either side of the magic carpet so we could add additional. If chief engineer is not running, I'm not either. So it's good. We're good. Oh, thumbs up, fantastic. So we added different venues based on our guest feedback, and you know how important your feedback is. At the end of the cruise, you get that survey, and the information that you put in there, what you like to see on board our ships, we take that to heart, we put it on to the next vessels. Now, of course, the Celebrity Edge class is not complete. We have number 5 coming at the end of next year. What's the name? Excel. Yes, fantastic. Do you remember the survey that went out last year asking for your choice of 2 names? Do you remember that? It was between Vertex and Excel. And they went with Excel. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are certain criteria when naming a ship. For Celebrity Edge class vessels, there was 3 criteria in particular. 1, it had to be 6 letters or less. Do you know why? Gotta fit it on the ship stack. It had to represent the highest point, the peak, kind of the elevation, the pinnacle. So obviously pinnacle wouldn't have worked. And it had to be a name that could not have been used on a ship ever before. So of course we've got Edge, Apex, Ascent, Beyond, and now Excel coming out. Very exciting itineraries all over the world. And you are on a very special cruise because this was the 2nd time ever that Celebrity Cruises sailed into Perfect Day at CocoCay. Did you enjoy the island yesterday? So you're a part of history, and of course that is going to be on Celebrity Beyond's itinerary coming up. We're here in the Caribbean until 2026, so we look forward to seeing you all on board.
A little later, they recognized all the employees of the month of Celebrity Beyond. And not to toot my own horn, but it kind of brought back some memories because back in the day when I worked for Royal Caribbean Celebrity, I was lucky enough to be Employee of the Year for 2 years in a row. Now, I don't say that to brag or anything like that, but for those of you that don't know me, I do work very, very hard, and I'm always at the top of my game. So you can confidently book your vacations, whether on a cruise or Disney, with me. Oh my goodness. Look at that view. We were back at Tuscan for our next dinner. That's the salmon tartare and the pasta carbonara with cannoli for dessert.
Well, I'm sure you guys noticed I skipped over yesterday's dinner, basically because I just had a very simple side salad. I just stuffed my face on the island. Started with hamburger, hot dogs, fries, then went over to Hideaway Beach and had the chicken barbecue, like guava barbecue pizza, super crispy, delicious, and a couple of beef empanadas over there, and then Captain Jack's for the barbecue chicken wings, which were a hit. Everybody loved them. Got 10 plain, 10 barbecue. Everyone enjoyed the wings, so I mean, that was a hit. Tonight we dined over here at Tuscan. Gonna kind of give you my thoughts. First off, it did take a long time for them to bring the food out. On a positive note, it was not cold at all. So we experienced that on another, cruise, which I'm not going to name names. But the food was hot. I did not love my carbonara, to be completely honest. It was a little tough. I mean, they call it ardente. It's a little tough for me. The taste was not bad at all. Just, I don't know, not my favorite. And then I had the salmon tartare, which was good, and the roasted pumpkin salad, which I had on Ascent before, and that one was good. So, I mean, overall, the cannoli also on Ascent, I think was better somehow. The filling tasted more like cannoli. Here, it was more like a Miracle Whip kind of inside cannoli shell. Kind of strange. Didn't really taste much like cannoli. But, I mean, overall, I'm going to give Tuscan tonight 3 out of 5 stars. And that's being generous because I did enjoy the appetizers and the dessert was okay, but the main entree, didn't love it. Tomorrow we're dining over at Normandie, the French restaurant, and we'll see what I think of that meal. All right? Heading over to the show. They've got the second big production number tonight. We're super excited. It's called Elements.
Again, as with the first production show, can't really share the music, don't want any copyright issues, but I did try to capture some of the best moments from production show number 2, Elements. I hope you enjoy it. It goes without saying that video simply doesn't do these performances and these shows justice. It's just incredible to be sitting in that theater and experiencing these shows. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Clearly, this is rain. One interesting prop after another, which really helps elevate these performances and the shows. Honestly, I cannot compliment this cast of performers enough. They were just absolutely phenomenal. I was kind of waiting to see what they would do with fire, and boy, it did not disappoint. I really do love the way they incorporate the acrobatics into these shows. Just makes it all the more interesting, you know? I'm really glad I was able to film the final bow, because boy did these guys deserve all the applause that they got that evening. Guys, go check out a show aboard a Celebrity Cruises ship. That's all I can say, really. Day 4 brought us to Cozumel, Mexico. And even though I wasn't planning to get off the ship, I did decide, because some of the folks we were with wanted to see Cozumel, I did decide to get down for a little bit. But Mama Otero was getting a little antsy. We were on day 4 and she had not met Captain Kate. So kind of made it a point this morning to meet the captain. And boy, was she excited when the captain wandered over to Café Al Bacio. Mama Otero gave her a huge hug and we chatted a bit.
Welcome to Mexico! We are here at Cozumel today for the day. Not venturing into town, but we are going to try maybe a beer, have some food, and visit the shops here at Cozumel. Let's go. Let's come hang out. We're here at Senor Frog's in Cozumel, Mexico. Not gonna go in for frog legs, but just, checking out the place and listening to the music over here. This Senor Frog's has been here, oh my gosh, as long as I can remember. Maybe 30 years at least, 40, 50 years. Anyway, it's a good time, and if you like frog legs or want to try frog legs, definitely come over here.
Hey there, Barbie. Having fun? We walked around a bit, visited some of the stores. There's your Mexican hats, big bags, tons of clothing at very decent prices. T-shirts as well. And I found this one really funny, kind of the knockoff Little Mermaid. Look, she sings. Dia de los Muertos, skulls. Tons of mugs for $6. And shot glasses as well. Did you know that pure vanilla extract is a thing in Mexico? I had no idea.
We're here at a little store in Cozumel, and we just bought 3 Coronas for $5. What? That's like 1 for $6 on the ship, or even back in Miami. So, gotta do it when you find those deals. Right, buddy?
Now, I'm not sure which Carnival ship this is, but you can see Bolt, the roller coaster, up there. And it was time to head back.
We had a super nice time in Cozumel, grabbed a couple of beers, did some shopping, and just, visited Senor Frog's, and just fun time. Now heading back to the ship to grab some lunch.
Quick shout out to Celebrity's Destination Gateway, where you debark. We love it. Tonight was French night. And that brie cheese is divine. Of course, French onion soup to die for. The salmon was actually really, really tasty and crispy. This is the beef en croûte. They had that on the Ascent. And that creme brulee, oh my goodness. Well, tonight's dinner at Normandie was freaking phenomenal. So good. That
brie cheese, and of course, French onion soup to die for. I cheated the other day and I had French onion soup early because I just couldn't save it for French night, but it was fantastic. Then instead of having the beef en croûte, which I had last time on Celebrity Ascent, I decided to go with the salmon, which was also fantastic. And then for dessert, creme brulee. So I'm the only person that has not had the creme brulee so far on the Celebrity Beyond, and it was delicious. So 5 out of 5 stars for Normandie. Sometimes it's hit or miss, and I guess the Italian, restaurant maybe had a bad night the other night, but back on a roll because Normandie, highly recommended. Was fantastic.
Have you ever experienced silent disco on a cruise ship? I thought you'd get a kick out of watching these folks dance with their headphones on. Seems like a good time.
Heading upstairs to the Ocean View Cafe for breakfast, figured I'd show you how close to the elevators and the stairwell to Ocean View we are. Let's go. Oh yeah, and I do have my Mickey shirt with me. Mickey's never too far away. Next cruise on the Disney Magic, and next week we're actually out at Disneyland, so lots of Mickey coming up. Let's head over and check out Ocean View Cafe. Come on.
Here's your first look at the hallways on Celebrity Beyond. We are on deck 12, 178.
Come over this way. We've got the elevators. We can hop on an elevator, go up one floor to deck 14, or just grab the stairs. Heidi, you'd be real proud of me. Been taking the stairs a lot up to the Ocean View Cafe. Just come this way. And that's it. We're here. How awesome is that? So we're just one deck away from the pool deck.
Here we are, Ocean View Cafe. You've got your hand washing station right there. And let's head on in and have some breakfast.
I'm here at Ocean View Cafe about to have breakfast, and pro tip for you, in case you didn't know, most cruise ships do have the powdered eggs for breakfast. You can ask for a custom omelette any way you like, and that way you're kind of guaranteeing that you will have real eggs for breakfast. So this is what I'm having. Egg white with mushrooms, spinach and onions, little mushrooms on the side, and love the hash browns here, a little bacon and sausage. The buffet breakfast here at Ocean View is actually really, really good. Let's dig in.
A little later that morning, we attended Oceans Ahead, Captain Kate's presentation on her life.
So we're gonna kick this off. Let me see if, okay, there we go. First picture. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, how does one become interested in becoming a cruise ship captain? Where does that dream even stem from? For me, it was when my parents took my brother and me on our very first cruise on Premier Cruise Line's big red boat, the Atlantic. Yay, we've got Atlantic fans in the house. Now, if you're not familiar with Premier Cruise Lines, this is the brochure. And if you see on the left-hand side, it says the cruise that comes with a Walt Disney World vacation free. Because what would happen is you would either go on to the parks first and then onto the cruise ship, or the ship first and then go into Disney World. So it was a combo pack. It was the original Disney Cruise Line. And I've met a lot of people who have been sailing for quite a while, even before that I was born. Do you remember the picture in the center? That was the Midnight Buffet. Do you remember the Midnight Buffet? Does anybody miss the Midnight Buffet? Be honest, because what would happen during the Midnight Buffet is people would go up, they would fill their plates, and then as you walk the corridor about 3 o'clock in the morning, you would find all of these piles of plates that were still filled in the corridor. So we have done away with the food waste and midnight buffets. But when I sailed when I was 12 years old, bless you, we had the Midnight Buffet, and that's a picture from one of those particular evenings. But back to this original picture. In the top right-hand corner, that is a photo of the certificate that hangs on my captain's office bulkhead today. That is my junior cruiser certificate, signed by the captain. And And that was one of the pivotal moments that I had with my parents, because when we got off the ship and we were packing the car to drive home, this picture on the right-hand side, I just need to point out, we were the coolest kids on the cruise, rocking our San Francisco 49ers starter line jackets. If you know, you know. But when we were packing the car to drive home, I said to my dad, I know what I want to be when I grow up. He said, what's that? I said, you know the person that plans all the fun events on board the ship? My dad said, the cruise director? I said, yes, I want to be the cruise director. And my dad said to me, well, you can do anything you want in the world, including drive the thing. And that's where the seed was planted. When I graduated, I applied to every single cruise line in the industry. And at the time, it was still, email was a newfangled thing. So I sent my resume, my CV, via snail mail and via email to every single cruise line in the industry. And I didn't hear anything back for over a year. So I changed my resume and I applied to be a bartender with Disney Cruise Line. Disney Cruise Line, they took my resume, they looked at it, they go, she is not qualified to be a bartender because I had never served a drink a day in my life, but she is qualified to drive our ships. There you go. So they took the resume, they sent it over to the Marine Department, and that's where I got my foot in the door with Disney Cruise Lines as a third officer, which is the entry-level position onto the bridge. So I joined Royal Caribbean as a second officer. I spent 13 years there as second officer, first officer deck, first officer navigation, first officer safety, chief officer safety, and staff captain. And in 2015, I was sailing with my husband, who at the time was the chief engineer on the Quantum of the Seas. We were off the coast of Oman. I was his guest on board, and he came in and he said, very early in the morning, I was still asleep, he said, Celebrity Cruises is on the phone. And I said, well, why is Celebrity Cruises on the phone? He said, I think they're calling to offer you the position as master on board one of their ships. Now that's gonna wake you up really fast. So I go running out into the living space and I take the phone call, and it's Lisa Lou Tofperlo, who at the time was our president and CEO at Celebrity Cruises, who I'd met when she worked over at Royal Caribbean. And she was calling to offer me the position as the first female captain on Celebrity and also the first American woman to be a captain on mega cruise ships in the cruise industry. And I said, no, I'm good. Just kidding. I said, hell yeah, I'll be right there. But thank you. So she brought me over to Celebrity Cruises. And when I got home from that trip, I took that letter that she had written me and I went over to my mom and dad's house. I got a really nice bottle of champagne on Father's Day. And I was pulling the champagne out of the fridge. I gave the letter to my dad. He started reading it out loud. And when he got to the part about being promoted to captain, he went quiet. And he looked up at me, back down at the letter, looked back up at me, tears streaming down his face. And my poor mom is shoving ice cream in her face next to him, has no idea what's happening.
Amazing, right? Next up, we went and attended BugNaked Trivia. It was super, super cute. Bug is a hairless Sphinx cat, and she is Instagram famous. It was really funny to watch her meow on cue when they asked her to say hi.
Hello, Bug. Are you going to say hello to everybody? So Bug says hello.
We didn't know much about Bug during this, trivia, but we sure did learn a lot, and she's absolutely adorable. Our very last dinner was at Cyprus. So nice, gotta dine there twice. Already reviewed with 5 stars, but I thought I'd show you the mushroom bisque, the escargot, which was absolutely delicious. My main entree was the spinach and ricotta ravioli. It was excellent. And that cheesecake was just as good as I remember from Celebrity Ascent. Our waiter also brought us this little chocolate mousse to try. Loved it.
Well, that does it for another lovely cruise aboard Celebrity Cruises. Man, these go so fast. I say it every time, but before you realize it, you're already leaving the ship. Wah, wah. So, saddest day of the cruise. But we will definitely be back aboard Celebrity Beyond. We love the ship, foods, the entertainment, and her celebrity captain, which is actually so involved, from the morning announcements that are so fun, and she gives her mom's tip of the day and gives us the details, technical details of how the ship is doing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, incredible. And her presentation and BugNaked Trivia. I think, honestly, in all my years of sailing, she is probably the most involved captain aboard any cruise that I've ever been on. And it really does add to the experience. Now, I'm going to give you the rest of my thoughts. Let's start with Concierge, because we did book Concierge this time. Mostly I was curious, but I also found a partial obstructed. You saw a little piece of the magic carpet there in our veranda. That decreased the price a little bit and allowed me to book Concierge. The Concierge Lunch was nice to be able to go, sit down, have your sit-down lunch instead of kind of the craziness of the buffet. We don't mind the buffet aboard the Edge class ships at all. So, that's kind of not that big a deal when it comes to Concierge. You've got a few perks, here and there. But I think the biggest perk is instead of just a couple of points, in your Captain's Club, you get 5. So 5 points, that helps you kind of rack up those points quicker to get to the next tier. Anyway, that's it. It's time to say goodbye to another ship. But the consolation is that in about a month, we will be boarding the Disney Magic. And I guess we'll be some of the first people to step foot at Disney's Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. Crazy is that? Not that crazy because I booked it, a year and a half ago to make sure that I'd, be one of the first on the island. So excited for that. Anyway, thank you, as always, for making it all the way to the end. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope that you hit that subscribe button. It's always important, to keep growing. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button as well, because that does help. And, I will see you on the next one. It's not quite Disney Cruise Line yet. We've got a trip out to Disneyland. We're going to visit Star Wars Night. Oh my goodness, cannot wait. As always, thanks for joining me, and I will see you on the next one. Have an out of this world day, you guys. Take care.